Hello guys, it's me Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, I'm pretty tired after going to my pole dancing class today. So this was my second ever pole dancing class. And basically, um, I would say this class was definitely different than the first class I had because it was with a different teacher. So I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about kind of how I prepped for the class, and then I'm going to talk about my feelings before the class, and then basically what happened during the class. So let's get into it. All right. So for starters, so last night I made a video saying that I had an unexpected surprise, which was that I was on the wait list for the class for today. And as it turns out, somebody canceled. And so I got to take advantage of the class, and I booked the class so I could attend the class today. So last night, I did not end up prepping for my class like I said I was going to. So I didn't end up doing that. I was pretty tired and sleepy. I wanted to eat dinner and then go to sleep. So I didn't prep for that. But this morning, when I was getting ready for work, I did prep my pole dance bag with my pole dance clothes while I was getting ready for work. So I was setting up my clothes for going to work. I was also setting up my clothes for my pole dancing class. And I put my pole dancing class in my pole dance bag, my little pink bag you guys see in the background. It's like pink and like gold. And then I finished getting ready, and then I went to work. So let's talk a little bit about how I felt before my pole dance class. So I did go to work today, full day of work. It was chill today, but still, I felt like there was some busy times at work. So that was the thing. Okay. So that was definitely a thing or whatever. And so after I got off work, I drove home, and I had a little time before like my class. I had like an hour before my class or whatever, hour and like hour and a half or something like that, I guess. Let's just say an hour. I'd say reasonably an hour. So I had about maybe hour and a half. Anyway, had time before my class, and basically I was chilling at home, taking care of some things, and then the countdown sort of came for me to go to class. So I like to give myself time to drive to my class. So I like to give myself at least maybe, let's see how long, at least like 30 minutes or like 30 or 40 minutes to get to my class and stuff. So I like to do that. And my mind is kind of stuck on like how much time I had when I got home, because I had, yeah, my mind is still stuck on how long I was like had when I got home, and yeah, it was about an hour and a half. So I gave myself about maybe 30 minutes, like so that I could, drive to my class, because I mean I could probably get there in 20 minutes, but I didn't want to be annoyed. Plus, it's during the week right now, so with me actually like driving in the evening to get to my class, I was kind of hopeful that there wouldn't be people, but still there was traffic. But I still like to give myself time anyway. So I grabbed my bag once it got close to time or whatever, when it was like maybe 30 or 40 minutes time frame or whatever, for me to get there. And then I grabbed my bag, jumped in the car, and drove to my class. And luckily, when I got to my class, I actually had maybe about, I think about 15 minutes maybe, and stuff. Now, initially, when I got to like the studio, the door was locked. And so when I tried to open the door, it was locked. And I guess somebody saw I was trying to get in. Normally, when I go to my classes, like the door's normally open, but the door was locked. And so I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to go wait and get in my car or something and wait and stuff? And so, so a girl ended up opening the door for me. And I went into my class and well, went into the studio. It wasn't my class. There was another class that was still going on. I don't know what level that class is, but whatever the level of that class is, the girls in that class, they definitely are pretty amazing. So these are girls that know how to invert, so they know how to do things on the pole upside down. They can easily just invert easy. Um, and I saw a girl doing a move called a layback. I believe it was a, I believe she was doing a Russian layback. That's what she was doing, very high up on the pole, upside down. And I was just so in awe at watching the girls do these different moves like the layback, Russian layback, butterfly, Aisha, like all these moves are like these girls were doing were really flawless. I mean, they were working on them and getting guidance on how to do them better, you know. And I just watched in amazement at how amazing these girls were. Like the amount of control they had when they were doing these moves, like they weren't like shaking or flailing. They were literally comfortable being inverted upside down. Like they were comfortable with that. And they just effortlessly were able to just be upside down on the pole and then go into another move. And I was just like, whoa. I'm like, am I seeing the future right here? Like, these girls are amazing, you know? And so I just found it to be interesting. They might be level threes, I think, probably, and stuff and things. So they might be like level three or four. I'm not sure. They may be level three or level four. Probably, we might say safely. I'd say probably level four because I think level three is where 3 and 4 is where people typically can invert and stuff. And these girls, they could climb up on the pole very easy too. So they weren't like me struggling to climb the poles. They weren't doing that. So, so I was just watching these girls in awe. And then at a certain time, I was like, I checked my phone and I was like, oh shoot, I have to change clothes. So I went and changed my clothes in the bathroom, came out, and I was wearing my sports bra and I was wearing some shorts. And I was really excited and just ready for class. Like, I was so ready for it. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. Work and pole dancing. Gotta love it, right? so, so my class, I would say like before my class, like there were girls that like after I got my clothes on, there were girls that were kind of coming in and stuff and kind of waiting. I saw this girl that I had been in chair dancing classes with, but she was in another class and she was like leaving, and I was like, hey, you know, and stuff. And she recognized me. She was like, you know, she was like, hey, you know, like she acknowledged me and stuff. I was like, cool. And she was on her way out, and I think she was talking to somebody or whatever. But it was really encouraging to see her, you know, really cool. So, my class started basically with us starting off on our yoga mats during our warm up. Now, this teacher was different than the teacher I had on Sunday. So, the teacher I had today has been doing pole for or pole dancing for 13 years. And so, this is a lady who knows pole backwards and forwards, you know, and so she knows what she's talking about. The other teacher I had on Sunday, she knows pole too. I don't know how many years she's been doing it, but let's just say both teachers know. But this teacher today, she's been doing it for 13 years. So she's really, she's cool. She's cool. So we start off with our warm up, and this warm up was different than any other warm up because this teacher, she did start us off with like our stretches and stuff and things, but she didn't do any moves like a pigeon or anything like those type of yoga moves or anything. We did do downward facing dog. We did do that. Um, so we did that. We didn't do a cobra stretch or anything. Um, we didn't do like a sphinx pose. We didn't do that. But what we did do is that we did do stretches on the floor and stuff that I haven't done before and things. And I thought that was pretty cool to do some new stretches that are brand new and different. Um, and then there was a part of our warm up where we did work our hips and like moving our hips in like a figure eight sort of fashion and stuff, which was good. Um, let's see, what else did we do? Uh, let's see what else we did. Um, for our warm up, we did like jog in place. We did do that to like get our heart rates up and stuff like that to get ourselves warm and stuff. So I'd say this workout, I think it was a breath of fresh air. It was different, and I liked it. So let's see. So in this particular class, what happened is that we we did start off with a beginner move, so we did do the step around. Now this teacher, she's very much about making sure every single person in the class can do a certain move. Like she's big on that, so she will like watch you. And that was something that kind of freaked me out. So the first two step arounds that I did were great. But then when she went to watch me, I was kind of nervous, and I think I kind of butchered the step around. She was like, "Oh no, it's okay," you know. And I did get it, you know, which she was like, "Good," you know, she was good with me doing. But I think her watching me made me nervous. But I like how she asked. She was like, "Hey, can I watch? You know, can I see you do a step around?" I was like, "Sure," you know. And I like how she asked, which was really cool. Another thing is during the class, I like how she actually asked. So there was a point where she was trying to help me to work on climbing, and she asked if she can touch my leg. And that's the thing I really love is they ask if they can touch you, because you know for some people if they're touched they can kind of freak out, you know, be triggered. But I love how in this class I love how she asked if she can touch me. That really helped, like with touch my leg and stuff. That really helped a lot because then I was prepared. And in other pole dance classes, they will ask if they can, touch you just to make sure that, so they can angle you or position you in the right way. So we did step around, which was fine. Then we ended up doing, let's see, we did, we did a move. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of like a half pirouette, is what we did. She didn't call it that, but I know that's what it's called. It's like a half pirouette, pretty much. Pirouette. So a half pole twirl. And then we did that, and we ended up doing a half pirouette, and then basically sinking down, like basically like if we want to like sinking down to the floor and stuff, which was cool. And then we did another move. She didn't want us to do the pole float, but we did do another move where we do a half pirouette, but we also we basically sink down to the floor, but we kind of bend back and like sink down to the floor, kind of like a contortionist or something like that, in a way. So that was the thing, and I was coached on how to do it, which helped. I was coached on the step around too, but I was coached on how to do that particular move to sink down to the floor, like in kind of to a back bend down to the floor. So I was coached on how to do that, which was super helpful. And the great thing, guys, is I actually recorded myself. Actually, while we were learning stuff, I recorded myself this time because last time I only recorded myself during freestyle. But in this class today, we didn't have freestyle. So, and what freestyle is basically the teacher will play a song, and then the goal is for us to keep moving no matter what kind of pole dance moves we're doing, just to keep moving until the song ends. That's pretty much the goal of freestyle. So, but yeah, we didn't do freestyle in the class I took today. So after doing that, we did do. Let's see, what else did we do? We worked on doing. I believe we worked on climbing, and somehow or another, I just was not able to climb, and I felt kind of sad because there's a lot of people who got the climbing and I didn't, and I felt left out that I didn't learn how to climb and stuff. I'm like, man, I was always gonna be on the floor, and the teacher's like, no, she's like, you'll be fine. She's like, for some people it takes them to, there are level twos who don't know how to climb. It's all about your journey. You'll get there. I'm like, okay, so that's good. But I still felt sad that there were some girls who were able to climb easy and I wasn't able to. Because when I was trying to climb, I was trying to use my biceps, to climb. And she was like, no, don't use your biceps. You have to use your lats and your back. And you have to keep your arms straight. And you have to sit back and you're like, sink back in your, butt or whatever when you climb. And I'm like, what? And so I wasn't able to get it. Unfortunately, I wasn't. But I will get it though. I have a couple more classes this month, so I am going to get a chance to practice that some more and stuff. So I won't have the same teacher. I'll have two other teachers. I will see the teacher I seen on Sunday, so I'll see her again. This one. Uh, and then I'm going to be meeting another teacher as well. Yeah, so I'll be meeting a completely new teacher. um, so let's see, what else did we do? We did. Oh, we ended up doing um, what's called a jasmine, which I have videos of myself on my channel doing a jasmine. So I know that move. I think the way I had to get into it based off of like this, how this teacher was teaching it was a little bit different, but I was able to do a jasmine very effortlessly. Like when I was doing the jasmine, I think I was kind of showing off a little bit because I know how to do it. So, like, I was just literally on the pole, just like, I'm doing a damn thing. And, like, check me out, Because I know how to do that move, Like, I did that. I learned to do that at the other studio that I go to. So, I know that, But the way that this teacher taught it was a little different. But that's okay. I mean, hey, this is only my second class. And I love how I was able to record myself and stuff like that. And I love seeing how this teacher actually went around to different people to make sure they knew how to do stuff and everything. So that's pretty cool. And I'm so glad to be in a class where they're going to teach me how to climb because at the other studio, like, there are girls who climb, but I think the way that they teach us how to climb there is different. And there's many different ways to climb a pole too. There's not just one way, there's many different ways to climb a pole. Just so you guys know. There is more than one way to climb a pole. Different ways, different methods, okay, as to how to do it. I know because I was watching this video and this girl was like climbing a pole, or yeah, she was climbing the pole she had, and she was doing it in many different ways. And like, seriously, because there's different grips and stuff like that. It's like it's a lot of different ways, but yeah. So that's the thing. Doing the jasmine, I was so comfortable with that. But I do have some videos that I'm going to be posting. I may not post them tonight because I'm super tired, but I will be posting them to my channel for you guys to check out, so you guys can actually like see Um, you can actually see or whatever. So that's gonna be cool and everything. So, uh, I did see. There was a girl that I did see in my class. Actually, two girls from my last class. They were in this class. And I actually did share a poll. So there's a poll I was sharing with another girl, and I don't know her name, but she was a nice girl, um, and she had like red hair and stuff, and I think I think she was brunette. I think yeah, she was brunette, and she was really good at doing a lot of like the pole moves and stuff. It was like it came so natural to her and stuff. It came very easy for her. And we shared the poll and stuff, and it was fun. And I kind of like I shared a poll with her, and then there was another girl that I was sharing a poll with, but then I just focused on sharing it with the brunette girl and stuff, which was cool and stuff. And I noticed like I was watching the girl that was brunette kind of doing the moves, and it kind of gave me an idea of how to do it. I do love how the teacher was helping to coach me to make sure I understood and knew how to do the move, like moves and stuff. That was really helpful and stuff too. So that's pretty much everything about my pole dance class and everything that I want to share with you guys today. But thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.